just talking about that. They believe they were representing.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Move to the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I ask everybody just to remain standing real quick, just for a moment of silence for the people of Ukraine and what's going on there. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Vogt?
Here.
Mrs. Boyle?
Yes.
Mr. Paranella? Mr. Giannakis?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Pender?
Here.
Mr. Sesselberg?
Here.
Mr. Cassio?
Here.
Mr. Panisi?
Here.
In accordance with the terms of the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting was posted in all school buildings, the administration building, the Borough Clerk's office, police headquarters, public library, 4 newspapers, and tapped into on January 6, 2022. Please be advised there is no smoking on school grounds, inside or outside, at any time. Please silence all electronic devices, and pursuant to District Policy 0167, each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes duration, and no participant may speak more than once on the same topic.
Thank you, Alex. Can I have superintendent's report, please?
I believe we're going to start with the audit report. Mr. Nancy.
Yes, we have Mr. Swisher from Suffolk County to present the audit report. The podium is yours.
Okay. We're here for the fiscal year 21 audit. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Leshak and Alex for all their help with the audit. During the pandemic, it's not a lot of fun, but they were really very helpful, so we appreciate that. Usually, we're doing this in November, December. For the 3rd year in a row now, the state of New Jersey has been delinquent getting us their actuarial reports. They hire a separate actuarial firm to come up with actuarial numbers. It has to be audited by a separate accounting firm. And for the 3rd year in a row, they were delinquent to get us the reports. So instead of doing this in November, December, we're here in March. That being said, you still have to required to accept both reports this evening. You have 2 reports in front of you, the annual comprehensive financial report and also the auditor's management report. The annual comprehensive financial report is basically your financial statements. We get the financial information from Alex's business office, and we compile the audit, and we have an opinion on the financial statements. This year we have an unmodified opinion on the financial statements, which basically is a clean opinion, which is that we believe your financial statements are free and material misstatement. So that's the best opinion that you can get on your financial statements. You also have the auditor's management report. This is a separate report the State Department of Education requires auditors to do for all school districts in New Jersey. They have specific areas like your student activities, your payroll accounts, your ASA, and we have the findings and recommendations in there during your audit. We'll have the findings and recommendations in the back of the report. After the report, once again, there's no findings and no recommendations. I believe that's the 3rd year in a row, so kudos to the business office on that. Financially, the district is once again on sound financial ground. I'm just going to go through your surpluses. Your year-end encumbrances were $600,000. Your capital reserve end of the year $5.5 million. Your maintenance reserve is $2.6 million. Your unemployment reserve was $713,000. Your unassigned fund balance was $3.1 million, and your assigned fund balance was $2.3 million. That $2.3 million was used in this fiscal year's budget to help offset taxes. So once again, the district is in good financial shape also. Is there any specific questions on either of the reports? Yes.
I have a question. On each project, you wrote down the legal fees. On page 73, under note 8, you have litigation. Could you clarify what that actually means? It says no litigation, pending litigation.
What page are you on the
Page 73.
73. Yeah, we'll look at an attorney, a letter from the board's attorney as to whether there's any material financial litigation out there that we think is going to affect the district materially on the financial statements.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let our attorney actually answer that since he
Okay.
gave you the information.
How you doing? So, all this means is if there's any pending litigation that would materially affect the district's finances, and if there's a certain amount that the auditor requests that we look at to say whether it exceeds this, I forget the exact amount, but it would be significant litigation, and there's nothing.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'd like to thank you very much for coming, and I also want to thank the administration, everybody involved. This audit report is very good, and thank you all for participating. Good news and progress in our schools.
Thank you, thanks so much. I'm going to ask for a few of our invited guests to join at the podium. Ms. Molliska, if you wouldn't mind. And then we have a couple of our students, Amaya Rose Ransom and Ray Pascal. And we did invite Doretta Strayhorn, but unfortunately she wasn't feeling well this evening. We actually had hoped to show a clip from the presentation that I'm going to speak a little bit about, but unfortunately not from our audio. There was an issue with the audio from the presentation itself, so I'm just going to go right into it. But if you have the opportunity, please go onto our Facebook page and watch the entire presentation. It's fantastic. So last month, the Executive County Superintendent, Kyle Anderson, graciously invited me to speak at the Middlesex County Prosecutor Office Anti-Bias Task Force presentation held at Middlesex County College, and discuss the South Plainfield Peace Committee initiative and the progress we have made in the district since its inception in late 2020. Unfortunately, I already had committed to another event. I asked Assistant Superintendent Mary Molliska to attend the presentation in my absence with no hesitation. Ms. Molliska is passionate about creating a student-centered, equity-focused school district. We also included one of our wonderful counselors, Ms. Doretta Strayhorn, and two of our amazing students, Ray Pascal and Amaya Rose Ransom. Again, you can find the entire presentation on our Facebook page. I'm going to ask our two celebrities to just share their experience, what it was like to be part of the presentation that was live streamed to, I can't even tell you how many people were watching at that moment, and then to tell us a little bit about your experience with the Peace Committee.
Good, ready? This is Ray Pascal, freshman at South Plainfield High School.
Good evening, everyone. So, first of all, being a part of the Peace Committee, over the virtual year last year, I was involved with one meeting. I was invited by Miss Pinelli at the middle school, and it was amazing. She introduced me to it, and just the overall idea of it immediately sucked me in. And to be involved with it again this year was amazing. I just love the idea of being able to be a part of so many opportunities for school, especially being a freshman these upcoming years. It only adds more to it. But being at that panel was terrifying, to say the least. But I guess being around so many people, we're all focused on the same idea. It definitely made me feel a lot more comfortable and at ease speaking, and also speaking about the schooling experiences that I've had made it so much easier. So between being a transgender student at the high school, which is fairly new, I mean not exactly new, but especially over quarantine, so many people have been coming to realize themselves and coming out to their families. So I feel like the school and so many students have realized who they are and making accommodations based on that. And including gender-neutral bathrooms, use of language in classrooms, and use of language among the students. Everyone together is becoming better. But at the panel, sorry. What else?
think you summed it up very well. You had mentioned about teachers asking for your pronouns, which is something different with our school district.
Yes, not only has everyone naturally been growing in that sense, but the teachers, without like recommendation or without like rules being in place, every teacher that I've had this year has asked every student for their preferred name, preferred pronouns, and such. And they've also asked about boundaries with parents, if they're out to their parents, if their parents are supportive, so that they know how to address them in any way that won't possibly put them at risk or make them feel uncomfortable. Which just shows like how everyone has, as people, have been growing rather than just as teachers and students.
So, as Ray has said, the Peace Committee, as since I've, been at the panel and everything, they have just brought a lot of opportunities as speaking out to like the Board of Education and just showing how far the school has grown. So I used the common room, and I think that was a great addition to the school. Some people, especially me, don't like talking to their parents, friends, or just don't like talking about their emotions at all. So when they're having a rough day, like going to guidance might not be the best option. So having a calming room is just a nice way to just kind of be with yourself, but not be in a crowded room and feel like you're obligated to talk to someone. You can just kind of have the soothing music and just be in a dark space and just kind of go through your emotions as you please. And they give you 15 minutes, and if you ask for more, they will give you that time, which is very like, it makes me feel like, okay, they're understanding what I'm going through and they're letting me go through the process as I please. So I really appreciate that, and I think that was a great addition to the school. And then the subject, the words that have been used in the school have really like grown, because people used to just say whatever they felt, and they used to say the N-word slur and a lot of other slurs, and they thought that was just a normal thing to do. And I think they have grown a lot from that before, because like that was really bad, and now they've grown to learn that that's not a good thing to do, and they need to change, and they need to learn that that subject and those languages are very derogatory, and they have harmful meanings that are not okay. And in this day and age, they need to understand that. So I think that's really nice.
The last speaker was Amaya Rose Rince. I just wanted to introduce her. And I think having the two students here tonight shows the concrete things that the Peace Committee and equity initiatives can do for our students. So even though we as administrators and teachers go through culturally responsive professional development or healing center, trauma-informed approach, all of these things that we talk about, it really comes down to what are the concrete things that are happening for our students. And so I appreciate both of you being here to highlight that. So thank you, Dr. Tansey. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Our two students, Amaya Rose and Ray, are escorted here by their parents, so thank you for supporting your children. We appreciate that. But I wanted to take this a step further. I asked the presenters to join us here this evening to give us their perspective and to begin their part of the Peace Committee, as well as their experiences through the prosecutor's office. I wanted to first thank Ms. Maleska, Ms. Strayhorn, Ray, and Amaya Rose for the wonderful job that you did in representing our district and the Peace Committee. You truly did an outstanding job providing important information about the work the Peace Committee has been doing in our district. Your presence on the committee, along with all of the members of the committee, is invaluable. I received a phone call that evening, the evening of the presentation, from Mr. Anderson, the Executive County Superintendent, who pulled over on the side of the road in the middle of a pouring rainstorm to tell me how exceptional all of you were during that presentation, and to let me know how proud he was to serve on the Peace Committee as one of the founding members. He also asked that we present this committee and information to the members of the Middlesex County Curriculum Roundtable so that other districts can begin the process of developing a Peace Committee in their district as a safe place to have the difficult conversations in order for growth and change to begin. As Ms. Maleska, Ms. Strayhorn, Ray, and Amanda Rose are aware, they're scheduled to speak at the next Curriculum Roundtable. You started something with your presentation, and the momentum just keeps going. Ms. Maleska, what you are not aware of, and the board is not aware of either, I also received a phone call a week or so after that presentation from one of our local colleges. They were aware of the presentation and inquired about the Peace Program in the South Plainfield School District. I was asked if our district would consider putting together a presentation for professional development outlining how to create a peace committee within the New Jersey school system so that other districts in the state might be able to use this information as a blueprint to develop a peace committee of their own. And of course I said, we would love to, with you spearheading that committee. This is an opportunity for the work that our students, teachers, and administration on the peace committee will become the starting point for other districts to use as they begin to make the change in their district. So again, I thank all of you for your hard work, because without your hard work, the students and the members of the Peace Committee and our administration, this would not be possible. Thank you. And on to the other things that happened in our district this month. The students and staff were welcomed back with their mass optional this past Monday. We've had no reported issues or incidents so far. Students and staff have been respectful of the choices of their peers, so we appreciate all of that. I'll just make sure I don't miss anything else here. I also, during my parent meeting, I was asked this question. I didn't have the information at the time, but I promised that I would provide it. Our COVID-19 numbers as of today, we have 3 positive cases of COVID-19 in our district. 1 is 1 staff member and 2 students. We have 3 people quarantined as of now. That information is also available on our website. They also asked how many numbers of students are vaccinated. We have totally vaccinated 1,784 students are totally vaccinated in our district, and our staff members, 496 of 579 are totally vaccinated. Now our next story. Our boys varsity basketball team. Congratulations to the boys varsity basketball team who played for the state sectional final last night. They lost a tough game in double overtime to Colonia 56-52. But what an amazing game they played. Our boys played a great game. We are so proud of them and an amazing season overall. Congratulations to the entire team for a great season and to their head coach, Mr. Greco, to the assistant coach, Mr. Connell, and Mr. Fabino. I also wanted to make mention of something else I noticed while I was at the game last night. The game was completely sold out, standing room only. The stands were packed shoulder to shoulder. The sportsmanship of both the South Plainfield students, parents, and fans, as well as the Colonia students, parents, and fans was wonderful. So respectful the entire game. That game was a nail-biter. Ups and downs. You were hanging on the edge of your seat if you were lucky enough to have one. I didn't have one. As I was leaving Colonia High School, I was stopped by the Colonia High School administration, along with a number of Woodbridge police officers, to let me know how wonderful our students and staff were while the game was going on. They wanted to compliment our students for their sportsmanship, but they wanted to compliment our staff for helping to organize the students as they entered the building and left the building. I just wanted to say thank you to our students and our staff for once again showing the world what South Plainfield is made of. Great job. That's it.
That's it. That was good, all around. Thank you very much for showing up. I know that you were asked to speak as soon as you walked in and didn't know that you were doing it, and the job you guys did makes it. And I'm just very happy what I heard tonight, and I'm sure the board is too. We're proud of everything all the students and staff are doing for this town and this school district. Thank you. Moving on, agenda additions or deletions? Okay, public comments on agenda items only. Very good. Finance, can I have a motion? Can I finish my thing first? Have a motion on 1 and 2, please?
So move. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bose?
Yes.
Mrs. Boyle?
Yes, on 1, abstain on 2.
Mr. Giannakis?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Pender?
Yes.
Mr. Sesselberg?
Yes.
Mr. Cassia? Mr. Panisi?
Yes. Public comments on any item? Okay, Seeing none, board member comments.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back in this room again, and then seeing everybody's smiling faces, or snarling faces, as the case may be. I also wanted to congratulate the basketball team for their run to the finish. It was a great year, and hopefully they'll do it again next year. I also want to commend Alex and his staff, and for all the good work on the audit. 3 years in a row with no recommendations is a notable achievement. And I also wanted to commend everybody who participated in the All-District Music Festival last week. Having performed in the first one 50 years ago, it was good to see that the tradition has continued, and the program's still there, and it still gets a lot of support from the town, so it was a notable achievement by the staff and especially the students. Thank you.
Sharon? Sorry.
I also want to just thank Alex and Marat and their staff for a job well done on our finances this past year, which resulted in no audit findings or recommendations, as we were compliant in all financial aspects of the audit. So thank you to all. Also, I just want to say the Len Tobias rededication ceremony was held last Friday night. It was a wonderful tribute to a man who dedicated his life to our South Plainfield School District for 30 years, serving 19 years as superintendent. It was a wonderful, beautiful ceremony. Everybody there, I think his family, were so overwhelmed and grateful for everything that that we did for this man. And I also just want to thank Ms. Maleska and Strayhorn and Ray and Amira Rose for a job well done on the bias task force. It isn't easy to get up here and speak. You students did a wonderful job tonight. You really were very articulate. You did a great job, and we're very excited that you are going to be heading or greatly involved in you know, putting together a blueprint for this peace committee to perhaps be, you know, put through to other school districts in the state. So you should be very proud of yourselves.
Jim?
I actually want to echo everything Sharon just said. Agree 100% on all of it. I also want to add congrats to the basketball team, and also I want to congratulate the competition cheer team. 4th consecutive year that their regular season was undefeated, and after 3 years of winning the state title, they came in second this year, barely by about 1 point. They came in second place, but great job to them. And the coach actually took home the Coach's Recognition Award, so congratulations to her as well. Great job for that team once again, and you know, just keep going. I hope they keep it up.
I'm sorry, what is the coach's name?
That would be Jamie Gianna.
Okay.
Moran.
Jamie Moran.
Oh, yeah. Jamie Moran, that's correct. I forgot. That's a little detail.
Debbie?
Yes. Thank you to our auditors and our staff on the report. Also, thank you to Ms. Maleska and Ray and Amaya Rose for your presentation tonight and the inclusion that needs to happen in our school districts across the state. So thank you very much for that and continued growth. Awesome job to the directors and students and our MC, Jay Buchanan, on the District Music Festival. It was a wonderful event. Congratulations to our South Plainfield High School boys basketball team, and a great job doing the state competitions, and our coach, John Greco, and Mr. McConnell, and the entire team. The ceremony at the renaming of the admin building was a beautiful tribute to a principal, teacher, superintendent, beloved leader. Thank you to the speakers, and also thank you to Janice Tobias for mentioning Tony Massaro's name along with the other speakers. Tony was a teacher, a principal, and assistant superintendent in this district for multiple years. While he was not afforded the opportunity to speak, he was mentioned. So thank you for that presentation. The family was more than grateful. Thank you.
Any other board member comments?
I just want to chime in about the Peace Committee. The Peace Committee is doing incredible things, as we can see, and the world is a better place with the Peace Committee. As you can see, the proof is there with Middlesex County Superintendent reaching out saying how we're setting the precedent for other schools around the county to start working on a peace committee such as that. And I want to say thank you to Ms. Maleska, Ms. Strayhorn, Amaya Rose Ransom, Ray Pascal. You all are doing incredible things. Keep up the hard work and don't ever stop. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other board member comments? Okay, seeing none, we have to go to executive session. So resolve pursuant to Open Public Meetings Act that the board meets in closed session at this time to discuss confidential matters pertaining to personnel and attorney-client privilege. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And there will be action taken when we come out because we still have to approve next week's agenda. Okay, so we're in exec. Thank you. Okay, call the meeting back to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bowe? Here. Mrs. Boyle?
Yes.
Mr. Farinella?
Back here.
Mr. Giannakis?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Pender?
Here.
Mr. Sesselberg?
Here.
Mr. Gassio?
Here.
Mr. Panisi?
Here, can I have a motion to move the agenda approval?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Bowe?
Yes.
Mrs. Boyle?
Yes.
Mr. Farinella?
Yes.
Mr. Giannakis?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Pender?
Yes.
Mr. Sesselberg?
Yes.
Mr. Gassio?
Yes.
Mr. Panisi?
Yes, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Stay here. Fine.